Namaste, namaste, and welcome to our first class of the term in this autumn term in chair yoga on Mondays. It's lovely to have everyone back. We've had a lovely summer holiday, although not very much actual summer, and it's a bit of a dreaking cold day today. But we are moving into working with our upper backs a little bit this term and focusing on posture and improving our posture. And the reason why we improve our posture is to improve the space our organs have to do their thing in. So if we are forward folded like this with a little bit of a hunch and a little bit of a droopy neck, makes it harder to breathe well. So improving our posture can improve our breath, our respiration on a lung level. And it also provides a little bit more space for our abdominal organs to do their thing as well. So it can improve our digestion as well. So this is just one of the many benefits of improving our posture, which we're going to work on today. So for those of you who weren't here for our pre-class discussion, you need a belt or a folded strap or a tea towel, something to hold for this class. And I'm just going to pop it over the back of my chair because we're not going to use it immediately. We're going to begin sitting in our chairs, just sitting towards the front so that you can feel space between you and the back of the chair where you can sit upright. We're going to rest our hands wherever they're comfortable and simply close our eyes or gaze gently downward. Allow yourself to arrive in this spot, stepping away from all of the other things that are going on around you and moving into your time and space for yoga. Notice how your body feels in this moment. Notice any areas of the body that feel a little bit stiff or sore or tense. Remembering to work with compassion in those areas throughout our practice today. Notice at least one part of the body that feels peaceful, quiet, and at ease. Focusing on that sense of ease. Allow it to ripple out, to touch other parts of the body, perhaps softening your shoulders, your face, your tongue. We're going to try and find a little more of that ease and softness and spaciousness today in our practice. Notice the breath that you're breathing in this moment without control, just your natural, spontaneous breath. When you're ready, you can begin to deepen your breath without strain, without force, just creating a slightly longer, slower breath. With each breath in, feel the breath lift you tall, find length through the body, maybe even through the back of the neck. With each breath out, softening your face and your shoulders, keeping that sense of lift. Breathing into the sides of the body, the back and the chest. Breathing out, softening the shoulders down. Breathing into the rib cage, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. Letting go of the breath slowly, gently, finding that sense of calm. Let's do a few more of these deeper breaths. At the end of your next exhalation, simply allowing your breath to fall back into its natural rhythm, we're going to bring our palms together at the center of the chest and lift the chest up and simply bow the head gently forward, not forcing, just wherever it naturally goes. Find a small smile, and when you're ready, raising your head, opening your eyes and releasing your hands down. Welcome back. So I'm just going to put my block to one side because I want to have my feet really firmly planted on the floor. And we're going to begin our practice with just some gentle shoulder movements. So rolling the shoulders. And if it feels good to make more of your body do the movement, you can begin to lift and lower your chin. So your neck also joins in. And you might also find you're rounding through your spine, in your upper back as the shoulders come forward, and opening your chest as the shoulders come down. Just a little bit more purposeful. It doesn't need to be quick. In fact, the slower you move, the easier it is for your body to adapt to the sensations it feels. And we're moving the shoulders forward, up, back, down. Let's do one more in this direction. And then we're going to do the same thing in the other direction, just moving the shoulders to begin with first. Nice little movement, wriggly movement of the shoulders. And then seeing if the rest of the body would like to join in through the upper back, maybe the neck as well. Just doing what feels good though. If it doesn't feel good to move your head so much, then keeping it more contained, a little stiller. Let's do one more in this direction. And then with the arms simply hanging at the side, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and then drop them down. And then two more like that. Shrugging up, hold momentarily and drop. Shrug them up, hold momentarily and drop. Wonderful stuff. Place your hands wherever is comfortable. You can leave them down by your sides, but sometimes it's quite nice to have the weight of the arms held by the legs. And we're going to find that beautiful lift through the body so that we find length in the neck as well, drawing the chin slightly back so that we're not protruding the neck forwards. And then here, simply turning to look over your left shoulder and then turning back to the center, turning to look over the right shoulder and returning to center. Let's do two more to each side, a little turn and release back to center, turn and release back to center. One more time. Just easing some movement into the parts of the neck that we don't usually reach. And then from the center again, pressing the feet down, finding that lift, finding length in the back of the neck, taking the left ear to the left shoulder and back to the center, and then right ear to right shoulder and back to center. Moving slowly and carefully, noticing what feels good in the body, where you might have a little bit of tightness or resistance. And when you feel that resistance, just move away from it back to the center, trying to avoid pushing through. When you come back to center this time, again, finding that lift, draw your chin towards your chest. Feel the gentle length down the back of the neck, maybe between the shoulder blades or across the tops of the shoulders. And we're going to smile to ourselves here and then raise your head to center. Take your bottom teeth over your top teeth and lift your chin up towards the ceiling. Very gently return to the center. Release the teeth back to their normal positions. Chin to chest. Take a moment to smile. Roll to center. Bottom teeth over top teeth, lifting your chin. Roll gently back down to center one more time. All the way down to Chin to chest, teeth in their right positions. Nice smile, and then rolling up. Bottom teeth over top teeth, rolling up to the ceiling, lift the chin. And then returning gently to center, relaxing your jaw to its normal place. And we're going to just loosely move the bottom jaw from side to side. And you can start quite purposeful, quite slow, one side, then the other. And then if you can, just give it a little gentle shake from side to side. And release. Very good. And now just rolling the shoulders a couple more times. Very good. We're going to stay seated for the first part of the class, but if anyone prefers to do this next series standing up, by all means, please do so. It's not a problem at all. We're going to take the arms nice and wide, and we're going to bring the palms of the hands together as we round through the spine, chin to the chest, scooping the belly in, and then sitting tall, just taking the arms nice and wide and opening the chest. Perhaps the hands move slightly behind the body if possible. So the arms are about shoulder height. We're rounding through the spine, bringing the palms towards each other. And then sitting nice and tall, taking the arms as far apart as feels comfortable. And let's do one more, rounding through the spine, scooping the belly in, and then sitting tall, taking the palms nice and wide. And we're going to finish by bringing ourselves back to our normal position and just floating the arms down to the side. And we'll roll the shoulders, one and then the other, one and then the other. Very nice. We're going to take the arms out to the side again. This time we're going to roll the palms upwards and then downwards. So we want to try to do this with the arms lengthened, but they don't need to be at the sides. They can be slightly in front. If you've got one arm that prefers to be down because of your shoulder, then that's fine. If the rotation doesn't work for you on one side, just sticking with doing it on one side, not both sides. So reaching into the fingertips, turning the palms as far up as they can, little softness in the elbows, and then lengthening through the fingertips to turn the palms as far down or round as they go. So rolling all the way one way and all the way the other. And as you do this, nice and focused, nice and slow, little lift in the belly muscles. Notice what happens in your shoulders as you roll forwards and backwards. It's the whole shoulder that moves. There's movement across the top of the shoulder, the chest, the upper back, as well as the arms themselves. When you're ready, just floating your arms down to your side. Give your shoulders a roll, both at the same time. And resting your hands onto your lap, make some figure of eights with your nose. So imagine you're drawing a figure of eight in the air, a sideways or an upright, whichever one feels like the right one to do. And when you're ready, going in the other direction. Just nice small movements of the head. It's okay if you get a bit of sort of crunchy, grindy sound in the head as you move it. It actually takes some practice for that to dissipate. So don't be worried about it as long as you don't have any pain. Very good. So we're going to take our arms nice and wide again. This time we're going to bring the backs of the hands towards each other as we round through the spine, drawing the chin towards the chest, just a slightly longer length across the upper back. And then, excuse me, as you sit tall, draw your elbows back. Oh, excuse me. And then open your arms nice and wide, palms turned upwards. And then rounding through the spine, backs of the hands towards each other, scoop the belly in, chin to chest, and then sitting tall, elbows back, and then opening the palms, maybe even lifting the chin. One more time, rounding through the spine, chin to chest, backs of the hands towards each other, and then sitting tall, elbows back, opening the hands, opening the arms wide, and then float your arms down to your side. Give your shoulders a little roll. It could be one shoulder and then the other, whatever feels good. We're going to take our arms wide one more time. Wrap the right arm over the left arm, holding onto your shoulders if you can, getting the upper arms crossed above the chest, and then just allowing the arms to rest onto the chest itself. Take a few deep breaths here. Maybe just one more. So we've done 3 nice big deep breaths. And then we're gently going to release the arms down, turn the palms forward. Take the arms wide, then take the left arm over the right arm to hold onto the shoulders or to cross the upper arms as much as possible. Let the arms relax onto the chest and take 3 deep breaths again. When we're not used to holding the body in this position all of the time, when you breathe deeply, you can feel the breath in different parts of the body. Last breath. And then gently releasing the arms. Oh, letting a little movement of the shoulders. Do whatever feels good. Hopefully you feel a little bit more spacious in the side of the body, fingers crossed. And we are going to take hold of our belts that we've got handy. And here we just need about a half belt's width. And we want to explore where is the right position for us to hold the belt and where that helps us to take our arms. So we want to get the arms as far up as feels comfortable. So if you can widen your hands slightly on the belt and you can get the arms a little bit higher up, then please do that. If you need to hold your belt even wider, then you can do that too. If you feel like working with the belt slightly in front of the body is the best place for you today, best place for your shoulders, that's absolutely fine. So we're just going to lift the belt up to wherever it goes to, where the arms feel nice and lengthened, and we feel that we've got enough space for our shoulders, we've got no pain there, and then lower the belt down, keeping the belt pulled taut, so there's no sagging of the belt, lowering the belt down onto the thighs. So same thing again, but this time we're going to roll the shoulders down the back and then lift the belt up to wherever it naturally goes to, trying to keep the shoulders down and lower the belt down onto the thighs again. Last one like this, shoulders roll down, nice and firm feet, nice and firm belly, lifting the arms up and then lowering down. Very good. Excellent. I see excellent work on screen. This time we're going to come all the way up and we're going to lift the shoulders up in this top movement. So the arms are as high up as feels comfortable. We're going to lift our shoulders up towards our ears and then gently draw the shoulders down. You feel the difference. We're going to do that 2 more times. Lift the shoulders up towards the ears and then gently move the shoulders down. 1 more time. Lifting the shoulders up and gently moving the shoulders down. And we're going to release the belt all the way down. Just give our arms a little bit of a rest with some rolling of the shoulders. Very good. Maybe shake out of the hands as well. Maybe moving your fingers and wrists if that feels good as a release. And while we let our upper bodies rest for a moment, we're going to take our focus to our feet. So your belt can just stay wherever it's comfortable. And take our focus to our feet, and we're going to begin with just moving the toes. So wriggling the toes on the floor as much as feels comfortable. If you feel like you need to look at them, by all means, lean forward and give them a little view. And then we're going to press the big toes down and lift the other toes up. Big toes down, other toes up, and then see if you can press the other toes down and lift the big toes up. So we're just going from one to the other, big toes down, other toes up, other toes down, big toes up. 1 more time, big toes down, other toes up, and then other toes down, big toes up. It's like doing a thumbs up with your toes. And then relax all of the toes down. And we're just going to lift one heel and then the other. So paddling a little bit into our heels. And you can really push into your feet if you like to keep you sitting nice and tall. If it feels comfortable to let your body move with you, you can. If you prefer to keep still, you can. Doesn't matter which of these you choose. I'm going to do a couple more to each side. And then we are going to let the heels float down and lift the toes, one toe and then the other, one set of toes and then the other. The toes of one foot and then the other. So I know we call this duck walking. So flapping the toes up and down. And you feel a different effort in the feet. So here we have to push into our heels to keep us sitting nice and upright, but activating those muscles in the fronts of the shins. And then floating the feet down to the floor. We're going to roll the big toe joint down onto the floor to lift the little toe side of the foot, and then roll out to the little toe side of the foot, lifting the big toes off the floor. So we're rolling inwards and outwards across the whole of the foot. And what we want to do here is there's a little bit of movement through the knees, but not much. So we don't want to roll the knees together and apart, because then we're using the hips to help the ankles. What we want to do is let the ankles do this on their own, or as much alone as they can. If you find it difficult and you've got a block to hand, you can hold a block between your knees or a cushion, and the block doesn't have to be on its narrow setting, it can be on its wider setting as you roll over one side, over the feet from one space to the other. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned a block at the beginning of class. When you're ready, you can relax your feet down, and then we're going to sit all the way back in our chairs. So we give our bodies a little chance to rest, and then lift our feet away from the floor and make some ankle circles. And you might be able to feel the effort of our practice in the muscles around your calves and shins. Let's go the other way as well. We're trying to build really strong feet, so they provide a really firm foundation for us to move on. It improves our balance, it improves our just our ability to feel confident in our movements through life. And then we're gently going to kick the legs one and then the other. See if you can have a sense of pressing your upper back into your chair. So you're not slouching here, pressing the upper back into the chair, using the belly muscles as well, and then focus on the feelings that you have in your thigh muscles here. You can even rest your hands and feel them working. And then when you've done a few kicks, releasing the feet to be in the bent knee position and just swaying the feet from side to side, which is quite nice. Makes me feel like I'm sitting on a wall enjoying a bottle of lemonade from my youth. And then maybe making little small circles one way. And you can do both feet at the same time. Just check you're not going to kick anything under your chair or your chair, and go the opposite way as well. Very good. And that's hopefully awakened the lower part of our bodies, because we are going to come onto our feet to do the next set of practice. So we want to take the belt, maybe wrap it around the back of your neck so you've got it handy. We're going to place the feet firmly underneath the knees on the floor, and then firm the belly muscles and see if we can do sit to stand. Now, if sit to stand is just too much for you today, bring yourself to standing and wait for us. We'll be there with you in just a moment. So we're going to firm the belly muscles, reach the hands forward, float our weight onto our feet, bottoms away from the seat, and then gently float back down again. We want to make it as graceful as possible, as light as possible, using the muscles of the legs as much as possible. So reaching forward to float and gently release. Reaching forward to float and gently release. You can use your arms to give you a little bit of momentum to lift and release. And this time we're going to come all the way up to standing. So we'll float onto our feet and then press into the legs to stand. And as we stand, taking the arms nice and wide to open the chest, and then come back the way, reaching the hands forward, bending the knees, reaching the tailbone backwards, checking where your seat is if you need to, always being safe as we sit back down. Let's do two more like that. Reach the hands forward to float onto the feet, Press into the feet to stand all the way tall, opening your chest. You can even let your hips come forward a little bit. It's a really nice release for the hip flexors. And then coming the opposite way, reaching the hands forward, bending the knees, reaching the tailbone back to lightly sit down. And this time, as we come up, we'll stay standing. So reaching the hands forward, pressing into the legs, standing all the way tall, and then floating the arms down to the side. Oh, maybe giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. If it feels good, you can give your hips a little bit of a sway in circles one way and then the other. I can't tell if the effort is made from this class or the class before, my warm-up this morning, but I can definitely feel that. So I'm just going to move my chair to one side and I'm going to rest my belt over my chair as we do Kati Chakras. So it's lovely to do postures that we're familiar with as we come back to practice after a break. I hope you appreciate that too. We're having our feet nice and wide apart. And we want to have a really nice firm foundation in the feet. So take a moment just to bend your knees a few times. Feel the breadth of your foot on the floor. And then when you're ready, keeping the knees a little soft, firming the belly muscles, we can gently twist from side to side. And here we're going to try and keep the hips facing the front as our arms move. And we want to reach the arms away from the body as much as they're able to as we twist, and then allow them to curl around the body and tap the body wherever they fall. If it's helpful, you can keep your head still in the center. Give yourself that point of focus to improve your balance. If you prefer, you can let your head follow your movement. Either is good. They're just different. One is not better than the other. See if you can feel those tummy muscles working, maybe the muscles at the side of the body. It's okay if you have a few pops and cracks through the back as long as there's no pain. Maybe you can feel the upper back working. When you're ready, if you'd like to, you can free your feet so that your hips move as you move. You might slow the movement down a little. Again, getting that sense of length of the arms away from the body. It's a real float and then wrap and tap. Float, wrap and tap. For those of you who would like to, you can add a light bend in the knees. It's completely optional, as is moving the feet. You can simply stay with your feet stable on the floor if you prefer. You can even do this sitting down if you prefer. Whenever you're ready, we're going to let the bounce go and simply pivot. And then bring our feet to steadiness and sway slowly back to center. And as you come back to center, losing your momentum, stand really tall, organizing yourself upright, feeling that gentle lift through the belly, maybe turning the palms to face forward. Feel that engage the space between the shoulder blades, let the shoulders sink down. Take a couple of deep breaths in this wide foot tadasana. Oh, excuse me. Very good. Very good. We're going to bring the palms together at the center of the chest. Keep the chest lifted and take your chin only down towards your chest. And feel that gentle sense of length. Give yourself a soft smile. When you're ready, opening your eyes, raising your head, releasing your hands down. Perfect. So now we are after our belts. We're going to do a little bit of work with that. The upper body's a little bit rested. Hopefully your body's feeling energized and ready to support your movements. So we want to have the hands that comfortable distance apart, that when we bring the arms up, we can get them as far up and back as feels good. And we're going to make some movements. So it doesn't matter here if the arms are in front of the body or to the sides of the ears, wherever works for you. So lifting your arms up, we're going to try first lifting the shoulders and then drawing the shoulders down, firming the belly muscles, and then doing a gentle reach to one side and then back to center and reach to the opposite side and back to center. Let me just step a little bit further back so we've got a bit more space on the screen. Lovely. A little soft across the knees, nice and firm across the belly, and finding that space down the sides of the body. You don't have to go far, and you can take your time to move into whatever space there is. So it might take a few goes before you find your way as far to the side as feels comfortable. We'll do one more to this side, and then we're going to come back to the center and release the arms down to the front of the body. Give the shoulders a little bit of a roll. We might like to do a few movements. If you want to release your belt, you can put it around your neck, just sort of shaking or swinging the arms, getting a little bit of shrugging through the shoulders there. Very good. Then we're going to come back to this movement. We're going to take the arms up over the head and draw the shoulders down. And then here, we're actually going to take the belt and take it behind the body, keeping the elbows nice and wide, and see if we can bring it down behind the head or behind the neck or to the top of the shoulders. And then we're going to reach the belt up again, trying to keep the shoulders down, a little bit of engagement across the belly, drawing the elbows wide, taking the belt behind the head, behind the neck, behind the shoulders, and back. Let's release the belt down for a moment here. Take a moment just to release anything that's going on. Now, if for any reason your movement doesn't allow for this pulling down, that is okay. So what you can do is, with one hand at a time, you can take your hand to the back of your head, opening your shoulder up as much as possible, and then reach your arm out to the side, turn your hand, and take the back of your hand to the back of your low back. So very similar movement. It's really the downward part of the movement that is here. And we can all practice that so that we know it for our next time as well. So let's take the hands to the back of the head. We want to keep the elbows nice and wide, fingertips actually just slightly away from the back of the head if possible. Elbows nice and wide, firm in the belly. Try to avoid lifting or flaring your chest open. We want to keep the belly muscles engaged as well. Reaching the arms wide, the palms face forward. We're going to roll the palms so they face backwards, and then take the backs of the hands towards the low back or the buttocks, but again, keeping them slightly proud of the body itself. Reaching wide, turning the palms forwards, and bringing the fingertips towards the back of the head. And then we'll do this 2 more times. So taking the backs of the hands behind the body, nice and firm in the belly, fingertips behind the head. Last time. And then here, relaxing the arms. And hopefully you can feel the effort in your shoulders. Not too much, I hope. This is actually harder, I think, than the pulling down one. So let's give ourselves a little bit of a rest. We'll do some dancing shoulders. If you feel like turning that into a little bit of a dance, then you can, but otherwise dancing shoulders. And then we can come back to doing the belt. If you are comfortable with belt, we'll do another couple of actions with the belt. And if you prefer to do the moving arm, you can do that one, or you can just rest. That is perfectly acceptable. So taking your belt up, taking your shoulders down, just softening your knees, creating a little bit of lift in the belly muscles. And then here, drawing the elbows wide and behind the body as you draw the belt down behind the body, trying to avoid sticking your chin forward or your forehead forward, and then reaching back up again. Let's do 2 more. Drawing the belt down, elbows nice and wide. Very good. And up. And then last one, I promise. All the way down. And in this position, we're just gently going to twist to one side and then the other. Just a little twist one way and then the other. Maybe 1 more to each side. Coming back to the center, reaching the belt up and releasing down in front of the body. Very good. Give the shoulders a little bit of a roll. And then we're going to take the belt behind the body. We're not finished with it yet. And we're going to hold the belt with the hands as close towards each other as you can on the belt, and roll the shoulder blades towards each other, and then lengthen the arms away from you. So if that's length down, that's absolutely fine. Firm in the belly. Try to avoid lifting too much in the chest, in the ribs, sorry. So we're rolling the shoulder blades towards each other, pressing the hands down, trying to think about length through the crown of the head, the back of the neck, and if possible, lifting the arms away from the back. If not possible, it's okay. It's all right. Just do whatever feels good. Hopefully you feel a nice openness across the chest here. But here, if you're able to roll the palms of the hands towards each other in your lengthened position, then you'll get even more openness across your chest. Take one more deep breath in and out. And then gently release. Relax the belt down, give your shoulders a little bit of a wiggle. And we're going to take the belt and just pop it over the back of the chair. We're going to use our chairs for a little downward facing dog. So come to your chair, place your hands on the back of your chair and walk your feet away. Take your feet nice and wide, about the width of your chair, the width of your hands. And then we're softening the knees, scooping the belly in, and gently lowering the torso towards the floor. Here, it's better to have the hips behind the heels rather than the feet away from the body and leaning too much into the upper body. So we want to use the legs for support as much as possible. Think about lengthening the hips behind the knees, behind the heels, opening that space across the armpit and the front of the body, scooping the belly in. If it feels good, you can give your hips a little wiggle from side to side. Just really gentle movements, opening up those spaces down the side of the body. If you wish to, you can also turn your head from side to side, but only if that feels good. So there's no need to do that if that doesn't feel good. When you're ready, you can look towards your seat, walk your way in to your seat. Now, if like me, you've got a ladder seat, you've got different options of levels to work with. But we are just wanting to come a little bit further down, so you can do this on your chair seat rather than on your chair back. So we want to do a little forward bend, and to do that, if possible, come a little bit further down. So our downward dog is great. It bends the body at a sort of 90-degree angle. We just want to find our way a little bit lower down if possible. So here you can use the chair back for support, of course. Firm your belly as you stand upright, soften your knees, and simply hinge forward from the hips, just as you do as you go into downward facing dog, but instead taking your hands down to your chair seat and then just seeing if you can go a little bit lower down. Now, it might be that you soften the elbows, softening the knees. You might want to step your feet a little bit further away to give you a little bit more room, as long as you feel safe and steady and stable. And then seeing if you can find a position that hangs quite nicely. So giving your upper body a little bit of support. For those of you who feel comfortable, you can bend your knees a little bit more and come a little bit deeper down. Some people might even feel comfortable to take their fingertips to the floor or to their legs, but that's not necessary. You can stay wherever feels good. Try to get a sense of length down the back of your neck. Maybe a sense of heaviness in the head, just softening the knees as much as need to so we don't feel strain in the back of the body or in the hamstrings. And then when you're ready, gently looking forward and lifting yourself up so that you're about halfway up, hands on the chair. Step your feet in, and then here we're going to bend our knees deeply, hand to the top of the chair seat and gently come upright again. Very good. Aces. Well done, everyone. Rolling the shoulders. Very good. And we want to do something that's sort of takes the body in the opposite direction if possible. So coming to the back of the chair again, but stepping nice and close in. We're going to step back with one foot as far as you can. So when you bend your front knee, the back heel is staying on the floor, but it doesn't feel like too much of a strain. Feels like a good sense of length, but you feel nice and supported. If, like me, you've got to move your chair, you can bring your chair a little bit closer towards you, or you might inch your front foot forward a little bit more. We want to have a gentle sense of length on this leg that's stepped back. So I've stepped back my left foot first. Doesn't matter which leg is back. I'll do back leg, front leg. So pressing into the feet, we're gently bending that front knee, and you can hold onto the chair with both hands, and then we're going to straighten the front leg. Doesn't need to go absolutely straight. Bending the front knee and straightening the front leg. Bending the front knee, straightening the front leg. You can try bending the back knee, taking your heel off the floor if you want to, and then straightening the back leg. Bending the back knee, front knee is straight. Straightening the back leg. One more time, bending the front knee. Back knee, sorry. Straightening the back leg. Whew, there we are. Now we're going to come into warrior one proper. So we're going to bend the front knee, press into the back heel, and we're going to keep the front foot, that hand on the chair, and the other arm, we're going to move in nice big circles, firm in the belly and the buttocks and the legs. Nice big circle around the body. You can allow your head to follow the movement if it feels good to you. We'll do just one more. Very nice. And then coming back to center, we turn the torso to face towards the chair. Nice buoyancy through both feet, and gently step the back foot forwards. In your forwards position, you can march in place, hands on the chair or opposite hands and legs. And then we're doing the same thing on the other side. So stepping close into the chair, stepping back with the opposite leg as far as it naturally goes. We can begin with bending that front knee as we press into the back heel, and then lengthening the front leg. Bending the front knee and lengthening the front leg. If you can, as you bend the front knee, think about taking your chest open, lengthen the front leg. And then we're going to bend the back knee as we keep the front leg straight, maybe peel the heel off the floor, and straighten the back leg. Bend the back knee, straighten the back leg. If it's too much, just stick with having the feet nice and wide apart. And then having done those preparatory exercises, we're going to bend the front knee, press into the back foot, keep the front leg hand on your chair, and with the opposite hand, draw nice big circles around your body. Now, if your arm doesn't like to straighten, you can do this just with your shoulder movement, keeping a firmness in the belly and the buttocks. One more nice big circle. And then we are turning to the front again, just taking an opportunity to feel that openness down the hip of the back leg, and softening both knees and lightly stepping forward or walking slowly forward. Making sure you march in place, a little lift and lower of the knees. You can be quite high with the knees if you feel comfortable doing that. If you like, you can do that without your hands for support. Good. Let me check our time. Oh, yes. So lucky for everyone here, it is time for relaxation. So I won't put you through any more paces. There is one thing that you can try before you relax if you'd like to. So this is completely optional. It is a posture that will maybe work on a little bit through the next few weeks. So that is to take your elbows and put them on your chair back, and then walk your body away and try to make enough space between your elbows to bring your head forward. And you can keep your palms together, or you can take the palms of the hands to the upper back or the back of the neck, whichever you prefer. Just getting a little bit of length through the torso and the backs of the arms. Maybe wiggle your hips from side to side if it feels good. Let your neck be nice and relaxed. And whenever you're ready, just pressing into the elbows to look forward and walk your way forward to your seat. Perfect. I'm going to show you a slightly different variation, perhaps slightly less challenging, of that next week with the wall, if I remember. And for now, we want to get our little things in place for relaxation. So grab a block for underneath your feet, if you like a block for underneath your feet. Feel free to put on some extra layers. It's always nice to wrap up cozy and warm for relaxation. And we want to keep the area of the body that we've worked warm for the rest of the day. So if you like, you can wear a shawl or a scarf, something that keeps the neck, the upper back, and the shoulders nice and relaxed. I'm wrapping myself up like I've just gotten out of the shower. But it's just so it's nice and cozy all the way around. When you come to sit in your seat, sit right back into your chair and allow the back of the body to feel comfortable and supported, and soften your posture. There's no need to sit really, really upright. In fact, there's no need to sit really upright anyway, but there's no need to sit really, really upright in relaxation. You can always position your chair against the wall and lean your head slightly back to touch the wall if you like, or put a cushion behind your head if you prefer. And if you've got the opportunity and you're using the video to do this practice rather than being in person, you might like to recline on your sofa or on the bed, which is even better. Rest your hands wherever they're comfortable. And when you're ready, you can gently close your eyes. Let's begin by taking a long, deep breath in and sighing gently out. Repeat 3 more times. A long, deep breath in. Let your effort go. Long, deep breath in. Let your muscles begin to relax. Last long, deep breath in. Surrender your weight down and back. Allow your breath to fall into its natural rhythm and fall into quietness. Take your awareness into your forehead. Feel it soften. Feel the area around your eyes relaxing, that space between the eyebrows separating. The mouth, tongue, and jaw releasing. Allow that sense of softness to pervade the whole body. Feel the skin across the crown of the head, the sides and the back of the head softening and relaxing. Feel the back of the neck, the sides of the neck, and the throat softening and relaxing. Allow the head and the neck to feel heavy into the top of the body. And move your awareness into your shoulders, your arms, hands and fingers, all feeling heavy, softening and relaxing. Feel the back of the body, the upper back, the space between the shoulder blades. across the back of the rib cage, the back of the waist, and the lower back. All feeling heavy, softening and relaxing. Feel the front of the body, the space around the collarbones, the chest, the whole of the rib cage, underneath the arms, the diaphragm and abdomen, all softening and relaxing. Allow the head, the neck, the arms, and the torso to feel heavy, resting on the pelvis. Take your awareness into your groin, your hips, your buttocks. Allow them to feel heavy, softening and relaxing. Feel the legs, the knees, the ankles, the feet, and the toes. Allow them to feel heavy, softening and relaxing. The whole body supported by the chair and the floor, releasing deeper with every exhalation. Gently draw your awareness to your breath again. And as you breathe a little deeper, allow that breath to feel lighter in the body. Encourage lightness to the body. A sense of spaciousness. The feet still quite heavy, but the body lighter on them. When you're ready, you might begin to move your fingers, your toes, maybe roll your wrists and your ankles. And when you're ready, you might like to take a deep breath in, stretch the body in any way that feels good. Maybe a yawn across the face. You might like to ease to one side and then the other. When you're ready, you can gather your arms and place your hands one on top of the other on your chest. And take a moment to feel the weight and the warmth of your hands against your chest. Whenever we work with the area of the upper back and the shoulders and the chest, it's really all about the heart center. So drawing into your heart space, any person or place or cause, or maybe it's just a thing or a pet, into this space, bowing your chin towards your chest, holding that person, place, or thing in the energy of your love, compassion, patience, tolerance. When you're ready, you can give yourself a gentle smile and raise your head and open your eyes and release your hands if you'd like to. So thank you very much for joining me in this first class back into our autumn term. We've got lots of lovely things planned, and I hope to see you again soon for another practice.